Hello, my name is Loria, and I am recording this video for a project done by myself and Brannan Vitek. So, first of all, here is my scene in Unity. The first thing, I have an enemy class with at least 3 subclasses of the enemy class. These classes must implement a move and attack method specific to their behavior. So, enemies: cube, cylinder, sphere. If you look in the scripts, there's enemy base class with virtual void move and virtual void attack. In enemy 1, here it shows that it inherits from enemy. And it has override void move and override void attack. And so on and so forth in enemy 2. And again in enemy 3, inherits from enemy, override move, and override attack. Next, you must have a weapon class with at least 3 subclasses of the weapon class. Weapon manager, weapon class here with public virtual void attack. Excalibur inherits from the weapon class as shown here, public override void attack. Sword inherits from weapon, public override void attack. And there's also a bow, which the script is not currently open, but it does exist if you look within the files. Next, the set of enemies should be polymorphic. If I go to my enemy manager, I have a list, public list enemies equals new list enemy. In here, I create instances of enemies, enemy 1 E1, enemy 2 E2, and enemy 3 E3, which again, those are all those enemies inherit from the base enemy class. At the start of the function, I add all of those different enemies to the list enemies successfully, and then in fixed update, for each enemy E in enemies, E.move. And then, once the player passes inside of a perimeter, for each enemy E in enemies, E.attack, but only once it passes in the perimeter. Set of weapons. In the weapon manager script, public list weapon, weapons. Add Excalibur, add sword, add bow. For each weapon W in weapons, if input.getKeyDown mouse 0 W.attack. Populate the world with random sets of enemies. If I go back to my scene and I click, here's an enemy, here's an enemy, and here is an enemy. They should be polymorphic. If I play my scene, you can see that they start moving. Let's start with the cube. The cube is jumping up and down. The cylinder is moving in a line, back and forth. And the sphere is moving in a circle continuously. Now, as I move towards my enemies, I'm going to pass through the perimeter, and you will notice that their activity will change. There's a weapon back there. There's a weapon up here which I will go ahead and pick up. I elected not to pick up the light sword weapon. Now, here in a moment, I will pass through a perimeter. And as I do that, all of the enemies have stopped their move method because I have triggered the attack method. Now, with the attack method, if I move within the aggro range, the enemy will attack me. So as I move in, it shoots 3 arrows continuously. Now, if I go to the other enemy, the cylinder, if I get within close range, it shoots 1 arrow, and it continues to do so. When I back out, it does not shoot. And now, when I move to the third enemy, the sphere, it shoots 6 arrows, all at me. This also covers the portion for projectiles. Now, if I go and pick up my bow, which I will go and do over here, now just in case you're not able to see, there's my sword Excalibur that I picked over. By pressing a button, I iterate, and here's my bow. I will maximize so you can see bow, Excalibur, bow, Excalibur. If I click, I shoot an arrow. Now if I switch to Excalibur and get within range while clicking, I release a field that destroys any enemy within the field. If I come over here again, it does it again. And that also proves allow the player to attack enemies. Once I attack the enemies, they were destroyed. I've covered every aspect of the project and have demonstrated in this video. Thank you.